Bitcoin is at such an important crossing road right now because it will make the decision very, very soon whether it wants to rally for the remainder of the year and end this year very explosive, but maybe see an early bull market top, or whether we are going to see a correction until the end of the year and follow a regular 4-year cycle. Guys, if you want to be ready for this bull market, this is the most important decision that Bitcoin needs to make in the next coming weeks. In this video, we will have a look at Bitcoin, the regular financial markets. We are going to have a look at gold because gold is seeing a breakout or breakdown, and could this have any influence on the Bitcoin price? And we are going to have a look at the seasonality because the season that we are entering is very, very interesting in terms for the S&P 500 and for Bitcoin. But guys, before we are jumping into the charts, I have an announcement to make which is going to be very interesting for you. And that is Bybit is a partner of this channel. Bybit is a partner of WhaleAlerts as well. I'm mainly using Bybit as an exchange and they want to give something back to the community. So they made a promotion where you will get money to join the WhaleAlerts platform. Guys, it is actually kind of crazy, but I just came off a call with Bybit today. Now, if you want to join WhaleAlerts, you will even get money. So let me explain what you need to do. You need to sign up on Bybit with the affiliate link down below this video. You'll need to deposit $100 Tether or equivalent amount in any cryptocurrency. Then you can apply for WhaleAlerts. You have to fill in a form and you will get a free $20 Tether credited to your account, which you can use for trading or whatsoever. You can even use it with your Bybit card to do groceries. And guys, to make it even more crazy, Bybit just launched a new promotion where you have 0% losses on copy trading, and if you copy other people trading, you can actually get, if that person loses your money, you will get $100 Tether back. Then you can copy trade without any risk, because if you lose something, Bybit will give you back up to $100. So guys, a lot of reasons to join Bybit with the affiliate link down below. I think it's very generous from them to create these bonuses. So thank you so much, Bybit, for supporting our community and being an awesome partner for the blockchain today and WhaleAlerts. Now let's dive into these charts. You know what, guys, in today's video, maybe just make a cup of coffee, have a sit, let's have some nice time together, because what we are going to try and do is really look with the right intention for answers with Bitcoin. And we are going to talk a little bit about the future, and I want to have this video long and I want to talk about all the things. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section and I will try to answer them in the following videos, because right now we are on our journey in this bull market to make as much money as possible. And yeah, for that we really need to have the right intention, unbiased, right? Unbiased, and try to see where Bitcoin is right now and what we can do, what can we expect, and how can we react, most importantly, when Bitcoin is making its move. So like I said in my video yesterday, guys, we can see the yellow line down here. This is the historic volatility of Bitcoin. This one is at extreme low levels. And this is one, and many other indicators are showing us right now that there will most likely come a very big move in the Bitcoin price, because every time this indicator is at these low levels and coming up, which it is doing right now, it is followed by a massive move in the Bitcoin price. And I have to say, I have to be honest, I have to be unbiased, most of the time that move is to the upside. Right? Especially if you would apply 4-year cycle theory, then it is most of the time when we've entered or when we pass the 4-year cycle low, the move is to the upside. And when we are in a bear market, in that 1 year of declining phase of the 4-year cycle, then it is the most likely that the direction is going to go down. So if you would only use that argument, guys, it basically means that Bitcoin might start a massive rally right now in the shorter term time frame, but also will have big implications on maybe even the bull market top, right? Because if Bitcoin goes on a massive rally right now, what does that mean for the regular 4-year cycle? Does that mean that we actually see an early top this year, maybe the beginning of next year? That is the 16-year cycle that I've already been talking about since we've bottomed right here in the 4-year cycle low. Or are we going to see a correction in Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin is going to follow a regular 4-year cycle, which basically means that it needs more time to get that accumulation phase going, to get that lift off? And why is this so important, guys? Because like I said earlier in this video, we are here to make money. We want to make money. Maybe you want to buy a farm, you want to be location independent, you want to be financially free. It doesn't matter. We are all here to play this game of crypto and to make money. And there is a big difference, because if we have a regular 4-year cycle right now, if we would know that, we can just relax a little bit and just accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. And once Bitcoin takes off and we are seeing the Bitcoin dominance goes up, we can maybe accumulate some altcoins, flip that Bitcoin to altcoins, and then ride the alt seasons also to get these gains, right? A regular 4-year cycle would give us more time. But if we have a look at the 16-year cycle, if Bitcoin right now would take off completely, then the next year or the next 6 months will be very intense. There will be a lot of price increases, right, which no one will expect basically, but the top will happen earlier. So you got to take profits earlier most likely, and there is a big chance that Bitcoin after will enter a multi-year long bear market, something that we have seen with the dot-com bubble. So both of these scenarios are very different from each other, because with the regular 4-year cycle you have more time to accumulate and taking profits at a very much later stage, maybe 2024, 2025, maybe even 2026. And that 16-year cycle, that will tell us that Bitcoin is just going to blast right now, and that you have to most likely have to take profits way earlier, as it is a different cycle. It is a different basically different market behavior. So what do we know? We know actually that Bitcoin right now is at the edge of making that decision, if it wants to do the 16-year cycle or if it wants to do a regular 4-year cycle. It is really at that edge. That's why this moment in time in this bull market is going to be, in my opinion, very, very important, because this will give you a bit of a perspective how the next years will look. What you can do, right? When to take profits, when to enter the market. So it's just very important. This chart where we started with already tells us that that big move is coming. Now let's have a look at some data points, okay? And check whether we can make some sense out of it. First of all, I want to have a look at gold. Gold is breaking down right now. And the interesting thing with gold is that gold sometimes, especially recently, had quite a correlation with Bitcoin. So we see, for example, that here gold formed a low, Bitcoin formed a low as well. Let me draw that for you guys. Here we have the low from gold, here we have the low from Bitcoin. Then you can see that gold already took off before Bitcoin, and then afterwards Bitcoin was following. Right here we can see that gold actually started a correction right before Bitcoin actually started the correction, so basically front-runted Bitcoin. Then we can see that right here, gold started a correction in the 1st of May 2023, and you can see that Bitcoin actually had that correction May, June, like later. It happened like 1 month later, so there was a delay. And what we can see right now with gold is that gold is breaking down and see some significant losses, and even coming to the lows right here, which if Bitcoin would reach that same lows compared to the price, compared to the gold chart actually, then that would mean that Bitcoin would be at roughly $20,000 where the CME gap is, right? So this is already actually one chart that is kind of bearish, but there is some hope at the end of the at the end of the tunnel, basically, because this chart has not been always correlated with Bitcoin. So if we have a look at the past right here, we can also see Bitcoin topped, gold bottomed, gold go up, Bitcoin go down. So there are periods of time where these charts are correlated, and there are periods of time when these charts are not correlated. But right now, like right now, and over the past months, since the beginning of this year, or even since 2022 right here, gold and Bitcoin are definitely correlated. So this is more a bearish sign, right? Then let's go to the seasonality, because now it's getting actually a little bit more bullish. And the bullish thing of the seasonality is that Bitcoin, if we have a look at historical returns on October, then we only have seen 2 Octobers in the history of Bitcoin that were negative, and those were actually not that crazy negative. Yeah, okay, 13% is quite a bit, but right here, minus 3.8% is quite okay. And this number even gets lower with a positive September. So when did we have a positive September followed by a negative October? It was not there, because every positive September had a positive October. So seasonality, as you guys know, we are looking that often right here on the channel. Seasonality is very important for the markets, because September generally is the most bearish month, and you can see that mostly every September we can see a bearish month, except for this one. So that's quite interesting. But this is a bullish sign, right? October generally is a very bullish month for Bitcoin. November, December already becoming a little bit less bullish. November is still okay, but December, as you can see, generally is not the most bullish period for Bitcoin. So maybe we can still see something going up in October, going down in November and December. That's still possible. Then let's go to the regular financial markets. The regular financial markets, guys, also, like October generally is a very good month. Like the end of the year, quarter 4 generally is very good for the regular financial markets. And does it happen to be right now that we are at a major support level right here? We are at a massive support, and yeah, we are the massive support, and we just entered kind of a bullish seasonal period. So could that mean that we are going to do something like this? And this brings me back also, guys, to the core of this video, which I think is a big factor right now in the markets. And I think if the markets are healthy, if the markets want to continue this uptrend, it most likely will. It is time to go back up for the markets, and maybe even for all the markets, especially for the S&P 500. When you look at this, it is basically time to go back up, unless, and this is a very important factor, of course, unless we are going to see something similar as we have seen in March 2020. So right now we can see that we had a massive correction on the regular financial markets. It would make sense to just follow this structure and continue this uptrend, right? The only thing that really can go into our way is when we get some crazy event that this thing just breaks this uptrend, and then just, something like we have seen in March 2020, where we just like plummet over a couple of days, have a massive liquidation event. Is that possible? Yes. Is that likely? No. Do I want to completely put it out of the options? No, also not. It's definitely possible that something like that is going to happen. So guys, that is a very important question. Are we in healthy conditions? If yes, we go up. If not, I don't expect that we're just going to correct a little bit further and then go up. No, it would make more sense if that we get a little bit more of a bigger event, because breaking such a trend line right here would also come along with some extreme news, if you ask me. Then I want to go to the next chart. So this chart, I would say, leans more to the bullish side, especially seasonality structure leans a little bit more to the bullish side, unless we are getting black swan event or like some crazy news that is coming out. Then I want to bring you guys to this chart, and this one is kind of tricky, to be honest, because this is the Dixie, the US dollar index, And the US dollar index has a clear inverse correlation with Bitcoin, right? So we have, for example, right here, it's not always, sometimes there's a little bit of a delay, but right here the Dixie topped and Bitcoin basically bottomed, right? Dixie topped earlier, Bitcoin bottoms a little bit later. So the Dixie is a little bit earlier than Bitcoin, let's say it like that. Then we have here a Dixie bottom, again earlier than Bitcoin, Bitcoin top. Then we have a Dixie top, Bitcoin bottom. That one was actually like directly. Then we have here a Dixie bottom, that was a Bitcoin top. And then we have a Dixie top, and then Bitcoin bottom came a little bit later. And then we had a Dixie bottom, Bitcoin top, exactly again. And now we can see, guys, that the Dixie just continues to make highs, but Bitcoin, Bitcoin already reversed. So we had Bitcoin coming down right here, and now it's going up. So this chart is actually quite bearish for Bitcoin, because this shows the strength of the US dollar index right here going to the upside, and Bitcoin just only had such a small correction. If we have a look, for example, at this, from this move, let's say from the lows right here, or from the highs right here, let me do it like this, from the lows right here till the highs, that was a move in the Dixie of 4.7%, and then we corrected with Bitcoin. That was the first correction, right? So that first correction in Bitcoin was from, let me check right here, that was a correction of 22%. Now let's go back to the Dixie. What if we look at the correction now? So right now, the first one was like 4 point something percent. This is 7.26%. So that would mean at least more than 30% correction on Bitcoin. So that would mean, if we would do that from the top right here, Bitcoin going to 22,000 US dollars, maybe even fill the gap, the CME futures gap. So this is definitely, the Dixie, I would say, is definitely a chart, guys, that goes more into the bearish direction. So guys, this chart, the Dixie, I would say is definitely more bearish than bullish, as we have seen such a strong move to the upside, but we haven't really seen that correction being played out on Bitcoin yet. Does that need to happen? No, of course not. Nothing is a guarantee. But historically, this comes with bigger moves on the Bitcoin price. And then comes the question, of course, if the S&P does go in an uptrend, does Bitcoin needs to go in an uptrend as well? Well, that is also something that you actually could argue, because if we overlay the Bitcoin price right here on the S&P 500, you can also see that they are not always correlated. So for example, right here, Bitcoin tops earlier than the S&P tops a little bit later, comes down. The S&P is still correcting, still coming down, but Bitcoin already went up since 8 September. So since the beginning of September, we already went up right here, while the S&P 500 on the 4th of October, 1 month later, is still not doing what Bitcoin does. So we do have this situation that risk on and risk off is definitely a thing. When risk on is popular among investors, a lot of liquidity is flowing to Bitcoin, regular financial markets, and so on. Risk off, liquidity is being pulled out of these markets, but they do not always directly correlate. Yeah, even though the S&P 500 looks bullish right here, or it looks like it wants to go up, seasonality, I would definitely lean a little bit more to the bullish side. It doesn't have to be directly correlated with Bitcoin. So guys, right now I want to go to this chart, and I hope you didn't finish your coffee yet, but it's gonna get very interesting. This chart is a weekly chart for Bitcoin, and I'm going to add here moving averages, which I think are very important for the price. So we go right here, and first of all I want to bring out the which one is this? This one is the 200-week moving average. And it's kind of interesting what we are seeing right here. The 200-week moving average has been a crazy bottom moving average for bear markets. As you can see right here, only the previous bear market we undershoot this level significantly. And right now, if we zoom in right here on the Bitcoin price, we can see that this level is acting as resistance. So I would say for Bitcoin to get more body, to lean more to the 16-year cycle, we definitely need to reclaim this level, and not something like we did right here, but just like really reclaim this level, because you can already imagine, guys, the emotional sentiment right here, you know. Bitcoin lost the 200-week moving average, crazy, never done it before, bear market forever, yay. Then it bounces, has one weekly close above this level, whoa, it was an undershoot, everyone all in again, go to Bitcoin, and bull market on, and then goes back down. So this is how the market screws us. So that's why we gotta really try to remain balanced right here. Don't directly go all in, like react on, don't like wait and just like try to get a good image. And that's what I'm trying to do in this video as well. I'm not here screaming. Although I talk very loudly, I know that. I'm not here like, yeah, no, and this is going to happen, and that is going to happen. And, no, I'm not trying to do that here. I'm just trying to sit here with you and have a cup of coffee, just taking our time with our intention, really try to figure out what's going on, what is more likely to happen, right? So, Bitcoin trades below the 200-week moving average, and this level is so far acting as resistance. Then we bring out the 20-week moving average, and like coincidentally, these are really aligning with each other. These are definitely aligning with each other, both acting as resistance. Then we have another one, that is the EMA, the 21-weekly EMA. And these are all very important macro levels. And we are trading above the 21 weekly EMA. This one is also acting as support right now. But we are trading below the 200 week and the 20 week. And I would say the 200 week and 20 week are definitely more important than the 21 weekly EMA. Because we have to look at this from the full picture. Just not take one level, just have a look at this. 200 week is a very important indicator, guys. So guys, these moving averages are very important. And if we, for example, get a weekly close below the 21 week EMA, yeah, the chances increase that we're going to get a further correction with Bitcoin. So now is the important thing. If you put all these signs together, right? If you put all these signs together, seasonality generally is bullish for October, but we are trading below these important weekly moving average, 200 week, and so on. The Dixie has shown a lot of strength. Gold is breaking down, which is correlated. If you would ask me, what are the higher likelihood scenarios for Bitcoin right now? And I haven't even brought up the stablecoin dominance, guys. Because as you guys know, I've been talking about this every single video. I think this is the most important. I haven't even talked about this one as well. What is going to happen with Bitcoin? What is going to happen with Bitcoin? And I have to come to the conclusion, guys, when I'm looking at all these signals. So, for example, gold correlated, breaking down. Dixie has a lot of strength, right? S&P 500 actually looks like it wants to bottom, but hasn't been correlated with Bitcoin. So, a lot of arguments you can also already kind of throw away. Bitcoin trading below the 200 week. This one is acting as resistance. Below the 20 week, acting as resistance. Maybe even getting a weekly close below the 21 week EMA. If I have to combine all of these metrics and I gotta use my own intelligence, my brain, to make something out of it, I definitely would say that Bitcoin is at an extreme important crossroad right now, and that the direction most likely is more to the downside than to the upside. And I've been saying that already since Bitcoin lost this level, since Bitcoin lost the level right here, the 20-week moving average. That was the moment that I say, yeah, I'm going to definitely de-risk all my positions, and I'm going to look more for Bitcoin to go to the downside. And although we also said, yeah, it can pump in the shorter term time frame, I have been very clear on that. We have used Whale Portal for that as well. It definitely can pump, but it has to reclaim some significant levels if it wants to look bullish, and it hasn't done that yet. Guys, I'm going to give you a brief summary of the probabilities with Bitcoin scenarios. And yeah, we should not forget, and this is very important, we should not forget that we are very early in the 4-year cycle. So with that being said, guys, Bitcoin is just looking extremely bullish for the coming years ahead. Even if we were in a 16-year cycle, Bitcoin is still looking extremely bullish. Like, I would say, if you look at it from a longer time horizon, 6 months, 1 year, maybe 2 years, Bitcoin is looking very bullish, and we should keep that in mind as well. The only thing that we also should take into our mind is that in the shorter term time frame, there is a decent possibility in the next coming months, or maybe this year, there's a decent possibility for Bitcoin to see a correction to $20,000. So you gotta outweigh these things, right? Like, you gotta ask yourself first, what are you? Are you a hodler? Don't worry. Then don't worry, you know? I would say don't worry. Are you a midterm or a swing trader? Then yes, you should have a look at these stablecoin dominance charts. You should have a look at these important moving averages. At least that's what I think is very important. I can show you a little bit an example, so just to give you a better understanding, right? So let's say I'm a market participant, right? My portfolio is total is 100%, but my portfolio is 50, let's say it's 80% in Bitcoin, 20% in US dollars, right? So the majority of my portfolio is in Bitcoin. Then there comes a situation, and I've explained this also earlier in my videos, but there comes a situation that Bitcoin maybe loses some key levels, right? And historical price action tells us that whenever Bitcoin loses these key levels, it was more profitable to take a step back and lower your risk for a couple of months, right? Until it resolves again. So whenever Bitcoin loses these key levels, you might have let's say a 60% chance of a further drop and a 40% chance that it will just reclaim and go up higher, right? Then you could make the decision to say, like, okay, I'm going to flip a little bit Bitcoin into stables until that risk is resolved, and then I can always re-enter with a lower risk. But, and this is important, guys, if that 60% scenario does play out where Bitcoin does see lower levels or a correction to $20,000, if that scenario plays out or lower, you never know what is going to happen, right? Then at least you capitalized on that opportunity by having some stables on the side because you anticipated such a move, right? And it doesn't mean, and this is the crazy or the hard part sometimes to accept, guys, it doesn't mean that you have to be right. You playing a game where you will never know the outcome. No one can predict the markets. I've seen the people that I really hang on to in terms of analysis back in the days, my heroes, my traders, I've seen them making a lot of mistakes, which is perfectly fine because we are all human, but we should realize this in ourselves, that we cannot predict what is going to happen. The only thing that we can do is we can move and react on the markets, and we can position ourselves for whenever something does happen. It's the same for people that are, let's say, saving in US dollars, right? If you only save your money in US dollars, you don't position yourself in a market, then you will not get that opportunity to potentially make more money. You know, there's someone I saw the other day on YouTube, someone was talking about water. There are waves coming, Jeff Bezos was talking about there. He said there are waves coming everywhere. You should not try to catch all these waves. No, As a surfer, you just go in, you pick one segment, you're gonna position yourself in that segment, and once the wave comes, you paddle and you stand and you go. And when such scenarios do occur, you can profit from them. And when they don't occur, you will actually incur a loss, right? But how does that potential loss stand in relationship with that potential gain? That is the important question you gotta make. If the loss is maybe 2%, but you could actually increase your Bitcoin bags by 25%, then that is a serious thing to consider, right? So this is what I'm trying to teach you, like the way we should think. We should think not in definite terms like, yeah, this will 100% happen, or that will 100% happen, or we are only bulls, we are only bears. No, we should realize where we are standing, where the risks are, and how we can position ourselves to profit from that. So that's why I say, guys, we are early in the 4-year cycle. In the next years, Bitcoin is looking extremely bullish, definitely. But in the shorter term time frame, there is a decent chance, if you ask me, for a correction. That doesn't mean that this has to happen. And you shouldn't base your own investment strategy on the things that I'm saying in this video, right? You should make your own decisions. But this is what I think, and this is my opinion, which I'm sharing here over on YouTube for free for you to get a better understanding in the way how I view the markets. So guys, I hope you can appreciate that. Guys, I want to thank you all very much for being here with me during this like almost half an hour video, right? I really hope that this video brought you some rest, that you have a nice time, had your coffee, like sip it slowly, and that we could go through all these charts together and really try with our intention to make up with what's going on with Bitcoin. Right, market is really divided right now, and I really think that we have a very good perception on the markets compared to other analysts, because we're just looking at so much data right here, so much unique data where most people are not really looking at. So thank you all for being here with me. Then guys, it's very important, if you want extra content, if you want nice trading setups, if you want the giveaway from Bybit, make sure to join Bybit, guys. I definitely think this is a very unique opportunity, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because you can now basically get money for joining WhaleAlerts, while the requirements of WhaleAlerts actually are going to increase very, very soon. So right here behind the scenes with the Whale Portal team, which is also already expanding, we are working very hard to make this to increase the services of the platform. We are going to use AI, machine learning. We are going to add more indicators. We are working with the existing WhaleAlerts group. They already gave a lot of input with things that we are working on right now. A lot of stuff is coming for Whale Portal, and we already proved ourselves quite a bit because we have a very stable platform right now. So, like I said, as the services will increase, the requirements to get into that pro or premium version will also increase. And right now, Bybit gives you an opportunity to basically join and even get a $20 giveaway. So I think that's actually quite crazy. I was also quite shocked when they say that. Because it's just quite generous, right? You don't have to do anything except just deposit $100 Tether, and you don't really have to do anything with it. You can just deposit $100 Tether, wait 6 days, get $20, maybe open a trade, because that's also a requirement for WhaleAlerts. But yeah, I mean, that's not a big thing, right? So yeah, guys, if you want to stay connected with me during this bull market, you want to have this extra content, and you want to have high priority information, make sure to join Bybit with the affiliate link down below. And yeah, make sure to fill in the form, get that giveaway, get that free money, why not? And yeah, I would definitely think this is a very good opportunity to do so. There is not much happening with Bitcoin right now. We are not yet in that bull market phase, right? Because things will get more complicated, then you are already positioned yourself accordingly for whenever that wave comes, and you're already in the right information. Because guys, you gotta realize also, information is the most important thing. When you have the right information, this is changing your world. The right information definitely is the factor for successful people and unsuccessful people. If you have the right information, you can move rightly, right? So that's very important. So yeah, I would highly recommend every single one of you to do so. If you already have a Bybit account, guys, but you still want to join WhaleAlerts, I think this is possible. You can reach out to Bybit themselves, and you can say like, hey Bybit, I want to be on the blockchain today referral, because I want to join WhaleAlerts. I think that is possible as well, but you have to contact Bybit if you want to do so. So yeah, that is also a possibility. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this long format video, make sure to smash up the like button, guys. And I think every retail trader needs to see this video, because the retail trader needs to know what's going on. So yeah, make sure to make some noise, share this video with your friends, drop a like, drop some comments down below, very much appreciated. And I wish you all a beautiful weekend, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.